Hello everybody, welcome to the Legal Saga. I'm Advocate Shrihari, and today we are diving deep into a story which is one of celebration, negligence and heartbreak. Now picture this, Bengaluru is buzzing with excitement. The Royal Challengers Bangalore just won their first IPL title in 18 years. Fireworks light up the sky, the fans are chanting, emotions are at an all-time high. But then, everything goes horribly wrong. On 4th of June 2025, a deadly stampede outside the Chinnaswamy Stadium claims the lives of 11 people, including a 13-year-old girl. Dozens more are injured. How does a celebration turn into a tragedy, and who is responsible? And more importantly, could this have been prevented? Let's find out.
Celebration in India's Bengaluru over RCB's winning the Indian Premier League took a tragic turn. At least 11 people died and dozens were injured after a stampede-like situation occurred outside the Chinnaswamy Stadium.
You're talking about tens of thousands of people. Take a look.
It's June the 3rd of 2025 and Royal Challenger Bangalore wins their first IPL finals. Bengaluru erupts in celebration. The very next day, the Karnataka State Cricket Association plans a huge victory parade in front of the stadium. But here's a plot twist. The police, that is the Cubbon Park police, had already denied permission for this event. The reason was they needed more time to prepare. There were safety concerns, obviously, and the policemen were stretched thin because just the previous day, the finals had concluded and there was security arrangement across the city. Despite that, the RCB, KSCA and DNA Entertainment went ahead with the victory parade anyway. On June the 4th, Royal Challenger Bangalore's official X handle and website announced the event. Over 2 lakh fans showed up and they were given free passes. The stadium, however, could hold only 35,000 people. Crowds pushing metal barricades, no control in sight, and by 5:30 p.m., chaos erupted. Lakhs of people clutching free passes are crammed into narrow entry points. There is no crowd control at all, no ticketing system, and almost no police. The result? A deadly stampede. 11 lives lost, over 30 injured, no water, no ambulances, and pure panic. Within hours, Bengaluru is outraged. Police file an FIR against RCB, KSCA and DNA Entertainment officials under Section 304A for death due to criminal negligence and Section 118 for grievous injury. 4 people are arrested, including a senior RCB official. Even the Bengaluru Police Commissioner is suspended. Chief Minister Siddaramaiah announces Rs 10 lakh compensation and a magisterial inquiry is also ordered. But here's where it gets murky. Sources claim that the event was approved at the highest political level. Former Police Commissioner Bhaskar Rao says that the government bulldozed the decision, ignoring warnings of the police. The opposition also got into the play and started blaming the government. BJP leader B.Y. Vijayendra questioned why the CM and Deputy CM pushed for a rushed event, even as half the police were busy protecting the VIPs. Eyewitnesses stated that there were no facilities, no police, just chaos. Political analyst Manjunath calls it a cynical politics. So the question remains, are we only going to act after people die? Sadly, this isn't new in India. India has had a long history of deadly stampedes, whether it's railway stations, religious gatherings, stadiums. You know why? Because we don't take crowd management seriously at all. The Disaster Management Act of 2005 does give district officials power to enforce safety at public gatherings, but the enforcement, it's non-existent. The NDMA crowd management guidelines from 2014 recommend audits, real-time monitoring and medical setups. However, they are just suggestions. They are not binding. And what do I mean by that? There's no penalty if you ignore them. There is no independent agency certifying safety. Now let's look at how others do it. For that, let's compare India with the United Kingdom. In 1989, 97 football fans died in the Hillsborough disaster in the UK. The country was shaken, but they took action. They passed new laws, the Football Spectators Act and the Safety at Sports Grounds Act. These laws make it a crime to admit spectators without proper safety certification. Safety advisory groups made up of police, fire departments, even fans actually plan and ensure every event is planned with safety first. Now let's compare that with India. We have no stadium specific laws, no railway crowd management, no temple crowd management, no required certifications, no cross-functional oversight. It's just announce an event, call people and hope for the best. Here's where things get interesting. After the Chinnaswamy tragedy, Karnataka introduced a new law, the Karnataka Crowd Control, Managing Crowds at Events and Venues of Mass Gathering Bill 2025. Of course, as of this date, this law has not been passed yet. Sounds like a step forward, right? Well, not quite. This bill doesn't even include religious gatherings. It only talks about punishment. A jail period of 3 years, a 5 lakh rupees fine, but there's nothing about mandatory safety audits or on-site health services or any preventive action. That's what we were hoping for, and the same is not delivered. That's like blaming someone after the accident without fixing what caused it. We need more, definitely much more from the government rather than this partly excuse. Enforceable safety standards, mandatory audits, independent oversight, laws that apply to every kind of mass gathering, and maybe it's time India had a National Spectator Safety Act just like the UK. Something that makes safety a non-negotiable thing. The Chinnaswamy Stampede wasn't just a tragedy, it was a wake-up call. 11 lives lost, dozens scarred, a city grieving, but the real tragedy would not be learning from it. This year alone in India, 5 major stampedes have occurred. We need laws, we need accountability, and above all, we need care. This stampede left a city grieving, and the victory of RCB turned into ash for many families out there. The real tragedy would not be learning from such experiences in life. Above all, we need to care. We need to make our temples, our mosques, our railway stations, our political rallies, and any crowded space safe for the general public. We need to have the care to provide good services and accountability to the people at large. And for that, the people who hold these rallies, the people who organize such events, and the people who are administratively in charge must be held accountable every step of the way, without which no action will come into fruition. As the old saying goes, a stitch in time saves 9. Preventive action is more important than the cure. Rather than paying compensation and offering condolences, it is more important to stop such tragedies from ever happening through care and preventive action through crowd control. Thank you everybody. Please subscribe to the channel and hope that this tragedy never occurs again.